What if one food could give your body almost everything it needs? You've probably heard people say sea moss cleared their skin, boosted their energy, or helped balance their health. In this video, I'll give you a clear, practical look at what sea moss actually is, the nutrients and benefits people report, and what science says, so you can decide for yourself. Stay with me until the end because I'll reveal the best sea moss gel I've found, the one I use and trust. Disclaimer: this is for informational purposes only and not medical advice. What is sea moss? Sea moss isn't actually a moss. It's a type of red algae harvested from the ocean. It naturally comes in different colours like gold, purple, or even greenish tones, depending on the species and where it's grown. For example, Chondrus crispus, also known as Irish moss, grows in colder waters around Ireland and the North Atlantic, while several Gracilaria species grow in warmer Caribbean regions, and that's the kind most people use today. Coastal communities have used sea moss for centuries. In Ireland it was used as a food source and to thicken soups and puddings. In the Caribbean, it's long been made into tonics and restorative drinks, believed to strengthen the body, boost energy, and support recovery. Across coastal cultures, sea moss has been valued as both nourishment and natural medicine. In more recent times, it became known for its gelling properties. The same natural compounds found in sea moss are used as thickeners in foods like ice cream and yogurt, and now it's exploded in popularity online as a superfood, with people sharing incredible results and recipes all over social media. As I said, you'll see sea moss in shades of gold, purple, red, and even green. And those colour differences actually hint at slight variations in texture, taste, and mineral balance. People often prefer golden sea moss for its mild flavour, while the darker varieties are said to have a richer, more mineral-heavy taste. Alright, so now we know what sea moss actually is and where it comes from, but what's in it? That's where all the big claims come from. The nutrients, the minerals, and the stories behind the benefits. Let's break that down next. Nutrition, claims, science, and real people. Think of sea moss as a mineral-rich, fibre-packed ocean food. From what I've seen and read, it's got a broad mix of minerals: iodine, potassium, calcium, magnesium, iron, zinc, plus a whole lot of trace elements. It also contains the sticky, soluble fibres that give it that gel texture, a little bit of protein, and some vitamins that vary by species and processing. Important point: the numbers shift. Where the moss grew, what species it is, and how it was harvested or prepared can change the profile. So one jar can be very different from the next. From what I've seen and read, sea moss is often described as the most mineral-dense food on the planet, and it seems to be the ultimate superfood, just ahead of moringa when it comes to minerals. It's also said by traditional sources and practitioners that sea moss contains 92 out of the 102 minerals the body needs, which is a common claim in herbal circles. Lab reports and practical use back up a very wide mineral range, but large-scale clinical studies are limited, and results vary by sample. Honestly, if this were ever officially proven, it's easy to imagine the information getting lost. A food this powerful, hitting the mainstream, let's just say some people wouldn't be too happy with that. At the end of the day, sea moss is just a really broad mineral source. How much you get depends on the jar, species, and how it's prepared. But compared with most land plants, it's unusually packed with minerals. That's why so many people swear by it when they want to top up their nutrition. So what has the science actually come out with? There are a few solid, reproducible facts. Seaweeds are rich in certain minerals. Iodine really stands out, which surprisingly quite a lot of people are deficient in iodine. And they contain unique soluble fibres called sulfated polysaccharides, which behave differently from the fibres you get from land plants. In lab studies and animal research, extracts from red algae show antioxidant, antiviral, and prebiotic type activity. Those mechanisms make a lot of sense as pathways for the benefits people report. That said, much of the most exciting work is still preclinical or in early stage human trials. In plain English, the biology lines up with many of the claims people make, but large-scale, definitive human studies are still catching up. Or, let's be honest, research dollars usually chase things that make money. Quick side note to what I just said. I've heard of several scientists and Dr. Stephen Greer talk about this too. They say that researchers and scientists aren't actually paid to discover anything. They're just paid to keep researching. A lot of times, scientists stumble on something genuinely helpful and then just get laughed at or shut down by higher-ups because it doesn't fit the system or make money. Now on to the lived experience, the most important part. Real people report real results. Across social platforms, forums, and private communities, millions and millions of people share improvements. Clearer, more hydrated skin, steadier energy, easier digestion, and stories of recovery and dramatic health turnarounds. I've seen some people share testimonies personally and heard from others of thousands of people having benefits. I'm not saying anecdotes replace clinical trials, but when so many independent people from different countries and backgrounds, not trying to prove anything or trying to sell anything, report the same kinds of change, you can't just ignore clear patterns. That's powerful evidence of real-world value, even if it's not the same as a randomised trial. If millions of people look up and say the sky's blue, and then one authority figure says no, it's brown, that doesn't change what people are seeing. The way I see it, mineral deficiencies can cause a lot of symptoms in the body. Sea moss is a broad spectrum mineral source, so for people who are low in certain minerals, adding sea moss can top those up. Then, when deficiencies are corrected, people commonly notice improvements, and that's what so many of these testimonies describe. The cultural and testimonial momentum is a big reason sea moss is where it is today, and Dr. Sebi is central to that story. Dr. Sebi popularised mineral-focused, plant-based regimens and brought sea plants into the spotlight for millions of people. He spoke very highly of sea moss and moringa. I don't know the exact number, but it's said he personally worked with over 100 people in person at his Usher village site in Honduras, guiding them through his protocols and plant-based regimens, and he influenced countless others through his teachings worldwide. He's also reported to have worked with people like Michael Jackson, Eddie Murphy, John Travolta, Steven Seagal, and Lisa Left Eye Lopez 100% did, and spoke publicly about how he helped her. You can find that somewhere on social media. People who trained with him or followed his methods saw for themselves his work produce real results. Supporters say the hundreds he worked with directly, combined with the millions who adopted his recommendations, are living proof through improved health, energy, and lifestyle changes that his approach had tangible effects for real people. Whether you call it nutrition, coaching, or spiritual practice, his influence on how people use sea moss and other sea plants is undeniable. And that's why his name comes up so often when people talk about why they tried sea moss in the first place. A few practical cautions before you rush in. Start small. If you have thyroid disease or take thyroid medication, check with your doctor. Sea plants can be high in iodine and affect thyroid function in sensitive people. Also, choose brands that publish testing for heavy metals and contaminants. Those two simple checks, monitoring iodine intake and choosing tested products, keep you safe while you explore the benefits. So, sea moss is mineral rich, backed by plausible biology, and supported by a huge volume of real user reports. Next I'll show you exactly how I use it, everyday ways to add it into your food and drink, and then I'll reveal the exact sea moss gel I use and why I trust it. How to use sea moss. I personally take 1 tablespoon of sea moss gel per day just straight. It's quick and easy. Other ways people use it are mix it into smoothies, porridge, or warm drinks. Some people buy sea moss powder and add it into cereals, baking batters, or energy balls. Some use it in soups as a mild thickener, or in vegan desserts like gels and custards. Some even use it topically for skin and hair. Simple safety reminder: if you're pregnant, breastfeeding, or on thyroid medication, check with a medical professional before daily use. The best Sea Moss gel I've found. This is the Sea Moss gel I use. It's Gordon Watkins 100% wildcrafted organic Irish sea moss gel from Grenada, 500ml. The product page says it's certified organic, wildcrafted, vegan, cruelty-free, gluten-free, GMO-free and preservative-free. And the brand says they've sold over 100,000 jars. Why I picked it? Quick and simple. Number 1, origin and sourcing. It's organic and wildcrafted from Grenada. I prefer wildcrafted over pool farmed sea moss for quality and nutrient profile. Number 2, minimal ingredients. The label lists only sea moss, spring water and lime. No sugar, no fillers, no mystery additives. Number 3, freshness and handling. It's made to order. The seller instructs refrigerate immediately, allow 4 hours before first use, use within 3 weeks or freeze up to 6 months. They'll refund or replace lost or damaged parcels if you message them. And number 4, versatility. The page suggests 1 to 2 tablespoons in smoothies, stirred into soups or used topically as a face mask, and it's labelled vegan friendly. I didn't see a third-party heavy metal or contaminant test certificate on the listing. If that's important to you, you can always ask the seller for their latest lab report before buying. But that said, this sea moss is certified organic and wild harvested directly from the Caribbean Sea. Untouched by man, obviously not planted by man, just straight from nature. It's pulled from clean, open ocean waters, far from industrial areas, which makes it as close to its raw, natural state as possible. I'll link the exact jar in the description. Extra note, I've tried every single sea moss that's listed there. There's loads of different types like bladderwrack, don't know if you say it like that, black seed, turmeric, ashwagandha. So if you want to know what they're like, just ask me in the comments. But anyway, if you try it, just start with 1 tablespoon a day. You can just have it straight, that's the easiest way. That's what I've always done, or just put it in a smoothie. Be consistent for a week and then judge how you feel. Helpful tips if you're getting it. I'm just going to read this so it's quick. If you have 1 tablespoon a day, by the time you finish a jar, it won't have gone off. For me, postage is £4.99, which adds up. So to make it more cost effective, I usually buy 2 jars at a time. Since postage stays the same until you go up to 3 jars, after that it jumps to around £7.99. So here's what I do. I open 1 jar, have a tablespoon or 2 out of it, and then freeze it. Make sure to take a bit out before freezing. Sea moss expands when frozen and can crack the glass. Then I keep the other jar in the fridge and use it as normal. When I'm down to just a few days worth left, I move the frozen one into the fridge to defrost. That way you always have a fresh jar ready to go. No waste, no rush, and no gaps in your routine. So to recap, sea moss is a mineral-rich red algae with huge real-world popularity and growing scientific interest. Definitely hundreds of thousands of people, maybe millions, including followers of Dr. Sebi, report meaningful improvements after adding it to their routine. Used responsibly, it can be a simple, powerful addition. Source a good product. Start with 1 tablespoon of gel a day and check medical advice if you have specific conditions or are on medication. Again, if you want the exact sea moss I used, the link is top of the description. If you've tried sea moss or when you've tried this one, leave a sentence below about your experience. This video is for educational purposes and personal testimony, not medical advice. Consult your doctor for health conditions. If you learnt something new, please like and subscribe to keep learning. If you know anyone that's interested in this kind of content, please share this to them as it really helps me out. If you're trying to improve your health, you will like one of the videos in one of the playlists on screen now. Thank you for watching and see you in the next one. And remember, stay positive even when it seems everything is against you.